Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we just flipped back in the green. Also, breaking news: stablecoin multiverse begins, according to the Tether CEO. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, fiat money crashing against gold and Bitcoin. US dollar stablecoins will accelerate the US dollar crash. We'll also be discussing over 400 South Korean officials disclose almost 10 million in crypto holdings, as well as GameStop jumped 12% after the Bitcoin purchase plans were announced, only to be followed by GameStop down 20% after announcing the $1.3 billion convertible debt offering to buy Bitcoin. And we're also going to be discussing, could Bitcoin hit 200,000 as a result of the GameStop adoption? I'll be breaking this down for you. Also, breaking news: the Philippines and Indonesia are tipped as the next Bitcoin nation states by Jan 3 founder Samson Mow. Bitcoin adoption, let's get it. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, everyone, to the Bitty stream. Good to have everyone here. Happy Thursday. Shout out everyone in that live chat, including Short Coin, Lizard Folk, Crypto Surge, Robbie Geyser. Any relation to Max the High Priest? Shout out Chris, DNA Noonan at home, watching the greatest show on the tube, right back at you. Max Lynn in the building. Welcome, family, and the rest of the fam. Now, I'm going to be streaming for the next couple of hours. Very important to repost the stream. I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the top of my X profile so it's easy for everyone to find. And it's easy to recognize because I'm rocking the red shirt today with the black cap. Yesterday was the black cap with the black shirt. So just FYI, the red shirt is today's live stream. All comments and quotes of the live stream will get reposted in real time. This is how we hack the algorithm. This is how we unplug from the matrix and orange pill the masses like blackberry molasses, stacking the bitty. It's going up forever, Laura. Aloha, fam. Welcome those just joining us and tuning in. East Afro King, thank you for the support, brother. Hola from the CNA fam. Tune in for another live and interactive show with Jay to the motherfucking Danger Mouse V. You damn right. Shout out Chris. Just hit you with a repost, broski. Shout out Crypto Surge. Welcome back from the cruise. Our one and only Oracle, JC Ice baby. Dun 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 dun. And yeah, you guys are the bomb diggity. I'm going to go ahead and check from my secondary profile as well. That's a hilarious meme right there, right? Let me show you the meme if you guys missed it. The guy. Damn it, it updated so damn fast. I hate when that happens. You see something you're like interested in, and then the timeline updates and you lose it. Craziness. But anyways, shout out to everyone supporting the stream. I appreciate you guys. I just reposted that. Yes, it is pinned, and I just in the process of reposting everyone from my BTC News Alerts account, which is my backup X account. Shout out Samson Mow, Jan 3 founder. We're going to be speaking about nation-state adoption, different countries adopting the Bitty, which is a beautiful thing. And I see you guys blowing up the stream. I'm trying to keep up with you guys, and I will be checking the X feed throughout the entire stream, so keep the comments flowing. Just hit you with a repost, Short Coin. JC Ice, just hit you with a repost. Chris, thanks again, and the rest of the fam. Keep the comments flowing. But yeah, anyways, hi family. Shout out James Smith, the one and only Harry Balls, J to the motherfucking Danger Mouse V. That's what's up. JB, I asked around about this whole retirement thing, and the census is you have to wait for a $10 million coin. Now, hypothetical, talking about my retirement. Hypothetically speaking, broski, what if we hit 10 million next year? Do I retire? Because the poll said, should I retire episode 2000, which would be in like 60 days, less than 60 days? Should I retire in episode 5000, which would probably be another 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now? Considering it took me 7 years to get to episode, what are we on today? Episode 1946. So, I mean, if I went to episode 5000, shit, Bitcoin will probably be 100 million. Who knows? But think about it that way. We don't know how fast Bitcoin's going to accelerate. So should I set my retirement at a Bitcoin price or an episode number? You guys tell me. Eventually, I'm going to have to retire. I don't like to think about that kind of stuff because I love what I do and I'm very passionate about it. But eventually, I'm not going to be doing this forever. You know what I mean? Maybe when SBF gets out of jail, He can take my place or something, or BitBoy or somebody. You're too young, says Lizard Folk. Yeah, man. I mean, time sure does fly. Let's leave it at that. Let's give it about 10 years for retirement. All right. So my projection in 10 years from now, if it's 2025, that'll be 2035. Shit, I can see Bitcoin 25 million per coin, if not 50 million. Just saying. It's going to get really wild, folks. It's going to get wild. But anyways, family, if you're new to the channel, important, smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, ring the bell, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode 1946. I'm your host, JV. It's March 27th, 2025. Bitcoin just flipped back in the green. We're hovering at about 87,000 at the time of the live stream. So let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. And as you can see on Coin360, we're also back in the green above 87. Ether is correcting just above 2,000. XRP down 2%. And BNB, Solana, Cardano, and Tron pumping and in the green. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap is sitting at a $2.84 trillion mark. It's back on the rise, which is cool. The Bitcoin dominance market cap is 1.7 trillion. We got 75 billion worth of volume over the past 24 hours. With the Bitcoin dominance, 60.8%. With the Ether dominance, 8.5%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. Curve Dow token up 10% on the day, followed by Bera up 9%, followed by Maker up 8%. Which altcoins are you bullish on? Let me know. And checking out the crypto, actually, let's do the crypto bubbles, then the greed and fear index. According to the crypto bubbles, to get a visual perspective on the day, I'd say 60-40 right over the green. Zooming out on the monthly, ouch, maybe 80-20, blood red Rex City over the green. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index. Today we're 40 fear, yesterday at 47, last week at 49, last month 25, extreme fear. And checking out the time chain calendar. We have 160,299 blocks until the next halving in 2028. And we're currently on block number 889,701. But who's counting besides me? And you currently exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 1,150 sats to pick up the sats, put down the gas, pick up the Bitcoin caps at bitcoincaps.net. My man Sergio, tell him I sent you, and let's freaking go. And again, welcome everyone join the live stream. What it motherfucking do? Retirement is overrated. Do something you love and you'll never feel like work. Precisely. You make a great, fantastic point. I kind of feel like eventually you got to pull the Satoshi move. It's like, yeah, he did what he have to do with Bitcoin and then he moves on to other things. But that's the question. What will be the other thing? Maybe I'll be breeding Nippinators for a living. Speaking of Nippinators. Nippinator. There he is. He's on the other side. He's hiding. He's incognito. Give it up for the chairman of the SEC. Yeah, maybe. That's why I never neutered him. Maybe my next career move is breeding Nippinators. Get your Nippinators. They're going. You know what I mean? Buy two, get one free. I'm just saying. But he needs a mate. Whoever decides to give him the mate, you get to choose half the litter for free. So if you have a dog, maybe his size, he don't even care. He doesn't discriminate. He don't care if you're big, little, poodle size, German shepherd. He's a Nippinator. He's got big gonads. Big balls. Exactly. Read my mind, Justin. I feel like I need to unpack from a vacation all week. Caffeinated JV today. Got to slow the playback 0.5% or 50%. Yeah, I was almost going to go with like espresso number 2. My espresso was early this morning too. Well, I shouldn't say early. I woke up early just to walk nip at like 7 a.m. Got back in, went back to bed, and then I reawakened at like 11. And then I had my cup of espresso. But I'm still feeling it. I just had an acai bowl. I got my 9.5 pH alkaline water. Hydration. Chess was good today. I was slaughtering the competition. Nothing makes me feel more invincible than checkmating these mofos in blitz chess. So, victorious. After creating the Bitcoin, the CIA went back to overthrowing governments. Well, I know they were responsible for creating the SHA-256 protocol, which the Bitcoin uses, but I don't believe they are the inventor of Bitcoin. Why would they invent it and then be enemies of it and try to stop it and the forces of evil? Yeah, I mean, I think there was some divine intervention, and I believe that Bitcoin is God hacking humanity. It provides perfect money in the sense we get individual property rights. We've never had the right before. It allows everyone to have access to it. All you need is a smartphone, whereas half the population, for example, in Africa, they're not qualified for banking institutions. They don't want their business, right? And so they're just too poor. Whereas you got individual property rights, you have unconfiscatable wealth, your corrupt government cannot steal from you. For the first time in human history, that's a pretty big deal. Individual sovereignty, in my opinion, is priceless. There's nothing more valuable than that, than your time, which is the most precious asset in the world, right? Next to that, you got Bitcoin. Bitcoin gives you your time back. It gives you the individual property rights and the individual sovereignty. You know what I mean? I think he is on the side. Bitcoin, the floor is cold and chilling, nippy. Yeah, it's hot as a mofo right now. It's so hot in here. I'm not even fronting. I've been rocking boxers all week. I don't even rock shorts no more. It's too hot. Screw that polyester nonsense. No more toxic chemicals in my junk. So pure 100% boxer briefs. I'm keeping it old school. Too much information, eh? They've created it for the 1.1 million Bitcoin stash, carry on the US dollar as the world reserve, and adopt the digital currencies. Word up. Let me check the X feed again, fam. Did I hit you with the theme music? I don't even know. Let me know if I played it. Seems I'm off my game today. Thank you, Glenn Cooper. Fantastic meme, by the way. Bitcoin sure is the lifeboat. It gives you a second chance to survive this ridiculous clown world we're living in. Thank you, Catherine Weaver. Just hit you with a repost. 2 reposts, that is. Shout out Chandy 10 Music. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the premiere of Bitcoin Presidents, her most successful music video. She shared it on X a few days back. Already over 200 likes, over 100 reposts. So thank you guys for showing her some support. Make sure you guys are following her as well. Best Bitcoin Pod is live. Thank you, Chandy. You're the greatest. Shout out to the Harry Balls. Glenn Cooper. Appreciate it, broski. JB hanging in the boxers, just keeping it 100. Just in case I get up and have to go to the bathroom, you're like, oh shit, JV pulled a Mr. O'Leary. You know, Kevin O'Leary would be doing those interviews with a suit on, and then he'd get up and his boxer briefs. That's unacceptable, Mr. O'Leary. But Mr. Not So Wonderful. So I'm just telling you straight up, I'm rocking the boxer briefs, and I'm proud of it. I'm glad to be rocking something. I could be free balling like Tom Petty in his prime if I wanted to. I play by my own rules. No one tells me what to do. Individual sovereignty rights. I got individual property rights. I can stream any way I like. Yeah, play the intro song. You got it.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
And again, welcome everyone. We already did our market watch. We're about to dive into our live TA. That's a pretty cool meme, by the way. A little Batman, bitty Batman, stacking the biddies in Gotham City, stacking them. Panda the Prophet, tap into the best show in the crypto world. Thank you, broski. And a reminder, those joining us, anyone who comments or quotes the stream over on X, which you'll notice pinned at the very top of the profile, will get reposted, and an army of cyber hornets and honey badgers will support you as well and show you some support, start following you and repost you. So it's in your best interest to show us some love. Is that Miss Christine Lagarde reading the Bitcoin Standard? Oh my God. Cheers, fam. Amazing times, isn't it? But anyways, fam, keep the comments flowing. Let's continue our astrology for the broskies, of course. Here we go. Headline here reads, Bitcoin price prediction markets bet Bitcoin won't go higher than 138,000 in 2025. Personally, I think that's redonkulous. Even my bear scenario is a 222, which is way above and beyond this, but we'll entertain it nonetheless, and then I'll pull up some of the live charts. So yeah, conservative polymarket users cap the Bitcoin price upside at 60%. The Bitcoin bull market projections have taken a beating this quarter, thanks to multiple setbacks impacting crypto and the wider risk asset spectrum. Now an assessment of the potential Bitcoin price price outcomes on Polymarket concludes the bull market cycle may be capped at around 60% before next year. The results were uploaded on X and showed the price bets extend all the way down to 59 G's, baby. Quoting them here. The great thing about this analysis is that it not only provides a market sentiment score like the Fear and Greed Index, but also attaches unexpected or expected price targets for both bearish and bullish scenarios. This offers a reference to compare one's price prediction along with the market. As outlined here, the Bitcoin price targets as per Polymarket. Now, if you don't agree with that and you're a betting man, you can place your bet that Bitcoin will go higher, and the odds are in your favor. That's the underdog bet right now. Now, Ashwin deconstructed the methodology used to analyze the odds across multiple Polymarket arenas, resulting in a potential Bitcoin price range between 59, that's much lower than where we're even at now, to 138,000. Now, the 138,000 price target may not be seem bullish to most Bitcoiners who are accustomed to hearing the hyperbolic 10 million or 50 million Mikey Saylor price targets. Now we're talking. And also, especially with the United States of America signing the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and Trump signing the executive order. Come on now. But anyways, the modest expectations for Bitcoin mimic those elsewhere. On fellow prediction site Kalshi, one average price target stands at 122 G's, baby. 11,500 beyond the current all-time high. Current price discovery is 109.3, which was achieved a couple of months back on January 10th, which ironic enough was Inauguration Day. You can see here how high would a Bitcoin price get this year? Put in your votes. 43% say 125 or above, 25% say 150 or above, and looks like less than 25% say 160 or above. Now, let's also break down earlier in the month a historically accurate forecasting tool, and its creator described as showing where Bitcoin won't be in the future, given a 95% chance of 69,000 holding, and lo and behold, 69 did hold. We currently bottomed out at around 76, 77. Do you think the bottom is in? Please do let me know. And I promise to pull up the live chart, so let's do that really quickly here, Biddy fam. And again, welcome everyone joining today's live stream. Here's just a 1 minute chart via TradingView, via Coinbase. 3 targets on the screen with the most bullish one sitting at 87.8. And zooming out from the 1 minute, taking a quick look at a daily. Actually, let's start at the 1 hour. Okay, zoomed out too much. And then we'll work our way back. So here's a 1 hour chart. Overall, we do have a bull scenario sitting at 89.8, which is like, 2,800 above where we're at. And we do have a couple of bear targets on the hourly chart, one at 83.8 and then one super low at 79,000. But you guys let me know if you think the bottom is in, or do you think we're likely test lower lows? And checking out here on the 4 hour, we have a falling wedge followed by a rising wedgie. And we have a bull target in the green at 113.7, as well as one in the red at 105.471, along with 2 bear scenarios, one at 83.8 and one at 79.2. And zooming out from the 4 hour, we'll take a look at a daily. The daily chart says it's going up forever, Laura. We also have a rising wedge, falling wedge combination, 2 bull targets, 1 red scenario, 113 ultimately, which is price discovery clearly. And then there's one at 113.7 and 2 bear targets, one at 68,699, just shy of the previous cycle all-time high. When we hit 69 back in November of 2021 for the first time. And we also have a 49 scenario. And zooming out from there, let's take a look at a weekly. We do get a weekly close on Sunday. Fortunately, the past couple of weeks, we did get bullish weekly closes after a very bearish week about 3 weeks ago. You can see that big mega red candle that took us down to the current lows. But anyways, we also have the 124 cup and handle target on your screen, at least on the weekly chart, which you can see here. Let me know when you feel will likely fulfill that destiny. And zooming out from there, we take a look at a monthly, and as you can see, thus far, it looks like we're in the green for the month, and we do get a close in just a few more days. I'm assuming there's 31 days in March. Let me pull up my calendar just to make sure. Let's see. Yep, and then April Fool's Day is the following day on April 1st. So get your April Fool's jokes in order in advance. But with that being shared, family, let me know your thoughts regarding the price action. And do you think we'll get a nice green close for the month of March? Holla at your boy, and I'll do my best to read your comments out loud. Mr. Corvette, we are only 22,000 from the all-time high. It's crazy to even say that. Like, we've already achieved 109.3 a couple of months ago. It's crazy. And today we're only at 87. Consider it a blessing. I have a question. Do you think GameStop, which is one of our feature stories today. We'll be discussing all the latest and things you need to know. But do you think they're grateful the market's down, as you just mentioned, 28,000 from the top? I think they're digging it. I think anyone in accumulation mode right now is counting their blessings, thanking Satoshi, praising God. Hallelujah. Figured out I went the wrong route, so I got with JV and the Bitty Vam and went all out. I'm blessing the market right now. The whales and the sharks are buying up thy bitties, and the dolphins, and the manatees. Scott, what does that say? Scott Grimes. I think we could see buying opportunities through April 2nd because the tariff news, but after that, we're rocket shipping to the moon times 3. You're damn right. We're going where no human being has gone before. The moon, JV. Thy moon. The place we've never gone back to since, was it the 60s? Something like that. I wonder why. But anyways, again, welcome everyone joining us. I'm going to check the X feed again. Let's blow up the stream. We have over 600 people already here. So shout out everyone supporting us. Steven De Niro, get your Bitcoin knowledge right here. I don't recognize the name, so let me make sure I'm following you. I am. Awesome. I like your throwback Reggie Miller pushing Michael Jordan. That's pretty clutch. I remember those years. That's when I first started watching the NBA. Beautiful times, beautiful times. But thank you, Steven. I just hit you with a repost, brother. Mr. Corvette just hit you with a repost. Here we go again. Come get the news, D-Gens. That's right. Step right up. Now is our time. Bitty bitty bang bang. Bitty bitty bang bang. JV spit flames. Lava pump through Nipsey's veins. Stacking the bitty each and every day. Up in the range. Rainy? Is it rainy by you, Adam? Here, there's no rain, just clear skies. Can't complain, can't complain. Just hitting everyone with a repost on the BTC News Alerts account. Let's freaking go. Let's blow this stream up, family. And thank you guys again for supporting us each and every day. It does help out, and it's free to support us. All you got to do is like the stream, repost the stream, show us some love in the algorithm. Big love, CNA fam. Shout out Tough T. This gong strike is for the CNA family. Happy 420, Josh, and the rest of the fam. Question, if you have a Trezor Cold wallet, is it easy to transfer your Bitcoin easily to an updated model? Yeah, it's pretty effortless, and that goes for any wallet. And FYI, whenever your Trezor or wallet has an update, you don't have to transfer it or move it off. You just hit the update button and just make sure you have your recovery seed somewhere safe, just in case there was some glitch, which has happened to me years ago. So, for example, you get an update, hypothetically speaking, let's say it's on a Trezor, and you're like, great, let me update my wallet. And then you click the update button, and then maybe the cable's faulty and it disconnects as it's updating. And if you don't have your recovery seed, you're completely fucked and you lose everything. So always make sure you have your recovery seed in a safe location, just in case as you're updating, something malfunctions, because it actually has happened to me, where if I didn't have my recovery seed safely somewhere, I would have never been able to recover after an update. So I'm very hesitant to update as well, but you're supposed to have the highest level of security. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Just make sure you got your recovery seed. That's the key. But most of the time when you update, you shouldn't have any problem. But I'm just saying, in the rare scenario or occasion something malfunctions during the update, you're fucked if you don't have a recovery seed. And it can malfunction, as any technology can pretty much malfunction, right? So keep that in mind. As simple as a faulty wire or moving your device as it's updating and it disconnects somehow. And then it's like, yo, start over, recovery, shit. You know what I mean? Has that happened to anyone else? I'm curious. Let me know. Raining for days, going into weeks after the floods and the grass in the backyard haven't been moved for 7 weeks. Was really dry. Well, it seems to rain in Puerto Rico every day, so it's always green. Never really have any dryness, which is kind of cool. But I guess it needs to be that way. It's free. Smash the likes. Thank you, Serge. Absolutely. But anyways, let's move on. Next bitty story of the day, family. Let's discuss the multiverse of stablecoins. That's right. Stablecoin multiverse begins, according to the Tether CEO, Paolo. Paolo, CEO of the stablecoin issuer Tether, said the industry just entered into a new era, the Biddy era, marked by an influx of stablecoin solutions from both private companies and the governments. In a new thread, he said the crypto industry just entered the stablecoin universe era, where multiple stablecoins are launching to meet the global growing demand. As he outlined right here on X, new era begins, the stablecoin multiverse. Hundreds of companies and governments are launching or will soon their stablecoins, their digital dollars, right? I am very proud to see such massive adoption of a technology that Tether created back in 2014. Best of luck, everyone. You're going to need it. However, Slava Demchuk, CEO of crypto compliance firm AMLBot, shared that she disagreed with the premise that there are hundreds of stablecoins launched by companies and governments, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance. He said the claims are an exaggeration and highlighted that launching a stablecoin is a complex and resource-intensive process, hence why he said, good luck with that one. Quoting him here, MICA, for instance, imposes stringent requirements, particularly prudential ones, such as capital reserves, liquidity buffers, and robust governance structures that not all companies can easily meet. On the other hand, Demchuk noted that the growth in the number of the stablecoins poses a challenge and risk. He pointed out regulatory differences across jurisdictions are an issue, with MICA providing clarity in the EU, while the US markets are still in debate, leading to a global patchwork of the rules. He warned that such inconsistency risks pushing companies to less regulated markets. The consequence of such an exodus would be that the consumer protection efforts would be undermined. Now, also, he claimed Tether currently counts 400 million users worldwide, almost 500 million users. That's pretty impressive. And he expects that number to reach 1 billion soon. He attributes the quick growth to an approach different from that of the players in traditional finance. Quoting him here, we always focus on the adoption from the ground up, working in the streets amongst other people, while traditional finance was watching at us their own ivory towers. Meanwhile, the chief operating officer of decentralized finance protocol, Purify, shared that Paolo's forecast is interesting, but not entirely realistic. He cited the recent delisting of USDT in the EU. That's because the EU sucks. Down with Christine Lagarde, if she's still in power, I would assume. And anyways, who cares what they have to say in the EU? They're ass backwards, to say the least. And shout out to all the people out there holding it down and on that side of the world. But we all know their government sucks donkey balls, but I digress. Quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, fiat money crashing against gold and Bitcoin. U.S. dollar stablecoins will accelerate this U.S. dollar crash. This is off the back of breaking news. Gold prices rise to 3,100 for the first time. And of course, Mr. Schiff is doing his victory dance. You got to make fun of him on X if you get the opportunity to do so. Post some memes. Max also recently wrote today, U.S. dollar stablecoins are exactly the same as the U.S. dollar in key respects. Number one, they can be printed out of thin air. Pretty little money printer go, burr. Number two, they're backed by the US T-bills that are also printed out of thin air. Number three, they are centralized. It can be turned on and off, added or deleted by a central authority for any reason. And number four, they're highly inflationary. An example, purchasing power of the US dollar will absolutely crash. Now, Russia and China consider it more U.S. hegemony and will reject them. And I think I finally got the pronunciation right on the word. Bingo. Let's go. A Russia-China gold-backed stablecoin is coming. America is just 5% of the global population, may not use it, but the other 95% of the world will. And if you don't know, now you know, broskies. And there you have it, family. Welcome, everyone. Jamie Demon, that's right. Seriously, only 36 likes. Come on, guys, show JV. Otherwise, it's going to be early retirement. Tell him, Serge. It's up to you guys. Shout out to the NIP, the one and only. It looks like we got 800 people on the stream, so thank you guys. I'm going to check the X feed again right now. Good old Biddy. Pretty little Biddy going up. Shout out Boris. Appreciate you, fam. Thanks, Serge, again for another repost. You had a bomb diggity. Just reposted Catherine Weaver's post. We appreciate you supporting the CNA fam. Bang, bang, bang. Thank you, Chandy, the greatest. Just reposted Mr. Corvette's post. Reposted Bitalica Thursday with the CNA fam. Get it while it's hot. Get it while it's good. Of course, in the Biddy hood. Thanks again, Steven, and the rest of the fam. You guys had a bomb diggity. Let's mother freaking get it. Has about 3 times more followers. Word. Have yourself a Biddy. Orange pill time, family.
Oh, bring me up, Biddy glow. Pride
Space discovery, yeah, let it show. Bang, 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 like a B-52, we built a bitty. Stacked revolutionary love shack, boo. I'm stacking sats like it's Max and Stacy. Stacking sats cause tax is crazy. I'm stacking sats cause the IMF hates me. Stacking sats cause the haters don't faze me. No Diddy, no Jay-Z. Stacking the bitty like it's Nipsey and JV. Stacking the bitty like it's paper and Chandy. Stacking BTC like caffeine in my canteen. Life is a game of chess that makes biddies the damn queen. Stacking BTC till they cancel me and I can't stream.
It amazes me with all the Bitcoin news how many people are still clueless. But think about all the other things in life they're clueless about as well. I mean, then it all will start to make sense. Oftentimes, people are not only just clueless about money, because we're clueless due to the fact we're not taught about it and how money works, but virtually everything in life we're clueless about, I dare say. What are we not clueless about? Maybe besides porn, because I'm assuming every adult watches porn, right? The real pandemic. But it's crazy how little people do know. And the sad part, though, it's the blind leading the blind, literally. My best way to sum it up. But welcome to our clown world there, Corey. Hang in there, broski. At least we got the preload biddy. I mean, without Bitcoin, shit, we'd be screwed. Big time. See, Adam even admits he's clueless, which is a smart thing to say. Because those that think they know everything tend to know the least. And those who are willing to admit, like Adam, that he is clueless tend to be the more enlightened ones. Because they recognize how much they don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. That's just a fact, Jack. I've talked about you in real life, and you're a legend. That's right. The Oracle is one of a kind, for sure. There is no second best. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hardcore, you know the score. Says Guyper. Word up. Yeah, the Oracle is badass. Respect. And make sure you guys are following JC Ice over on X along with the rest of our moderators. You'll recognize it's a mod because their names are in blue with a monkey wrench next to their name. Good point, JB. But these people are Trump supporters and can talk about everything else he does, but don't anything about the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Yeah. I don't piss people off for fun. I thought you did piss people off for fun. The one thing I do is that I don't know shit. Smart man, Don. I don't know nothing either. 9 out of 10 times I get it wrong. One of my favorite quotes from Mac Miller there. The only person that knows everything is the chairman, hence why you voted for him as your new chairman of the SEC. Besides that, more Bitcoin for us. Exactly. Stop selling your Bitcoin to GameStop and Michael Saylor, please. They got enough of the biddy. She does it for should not or want. The only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. Socrates, legend. Word up. I want to take another sip of the alkaline water here, fam. Sarcasm, JV? Much sarcasm. Ah, I see. Yeah. Because I'm like, no, that's your... Exactly. Controversy works. So you just got to piss off the right people. That's the key. And then maybe they'll see the light bulb. Maybe they'll figure it out on their own. Oftentimes, you can't tell people what to do. They'll never listen to you. So sometimes you got to nudge them. And let's just say she knows how to nudge them. Wop, wop, wop. Anyways, saying that makes some of us spin like tornado. But there is no tornado, so people look at us weird. Yeah, so my first podcast I ever did was called Weird Entrepreneurs. And I used to interview very successfully weird people. Billionaires, you name it. I think even the CEO of Disney, this is going way back. So not the woke now Disney. This is like before they bought Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. That podcast was like over 10 years ago. But anyways, it was very interesting. Being weird is a trait a lot of successful people have because it just means different than your status quo, right? And if you're like everyone else, you're not going to be successful. You're just going to be a poor slave working for fiat currency, which is what the school system teaches us. The police in the UK seriously dislike me. They sent me another case of cease. No way. How many cease and desists have you gotten? I thought it's not even their jurisdiction. Why are they bothering you? You're a U.S. citizen. Is it because they're claiming you're bothering people in the UK? Like, I don't understand that. 1.3 billion in the grand scheme of things is tiny compared to the adoption that's been going to. I can hardly think this will move the biddy, but it is a great step in the right direction. We'll dive into that here shortly. It is bigger than that though, because they have 5 billion just in cash sitting around, but their net worth as a company is like 13 billion or something. And so they can do like Michael Saylor did, and they can just keep doing this convertible note Bitcoin alchemy, and they can just keep continuously making big purchases by ultimately printing money out of thin air or borrowing money out of thin air to accumulate more of the biddy. It's called the Saylor put. You know what I mean? So it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. For JV, wow, JC got 4 cease and desists. She's collecting them. Holy moly. So do you have a lawyer, or do you respond back to them, or do you just ignore them? I'm curious. But anyways, keep the comments flowing, fam. We have over 900 people on the stream. Let's dive into our next story of the day regarding South Korea officials. Headline reads, over 400 South Korean officials disclosed roughly 10 million in crypto holdings. That's right. The South Korea's Ethics Commission revealed that the high-ranking public officials of the country hold an average of 35.1 million won, which is 24,000 USD in crypto assets. On March 27th, the country's Ethics Commission of government officials reportedly disclosed that more than 20% of the surveyed public officials hold 14.4 billion won, which is just shy of 10 million USD worth of cryptocurrency. This means 411 of the 2,047 officials subjected to the country's disclosure requirements hold crypto assets. The highest amount disclosed was 1.76 billion won, which is 1.2 million USD, belonging to Seoul City Councilor Kim Young. Someone got a good job there. The officials held different crypto assets, including the Biddy, Ether, XRP, Dogecoin, and Luna Classic, the ultimate shitcoin. Now, the disclosure of public officials' crypto assets follow calls for transparency from the Prime Minister. 2023 South Korean Prime Minister Dan Dyok-soo, I know I'm butchering the name, but bear with me, said in a news conference that the high-ranking government officials must include crypto in their property disclosures. Well, I guess it's digital property, and they want them to disclose it. The official said crypto should be treated similarly to other assets, like precious metals, or as I call it now, not so precious metals. May 25th, 2023, South Korea passed the bill mandating public officials to include crypto in their public asset disclosures. Now, if you were holding crypto hypothetically in a private wallet and your government wanted you to disclose it, genuine question, would you? Let me know. The new system granted South Koreans access to the crypto holdings of at least 5,800 public officials. And the reason I brought that up is I'm sure there's some public officials who are not disclosing it. You could assume, especially if they had a large amount of crypto and they don't want no one to know about it. Because some people may have acquired it peer-to-peer and not necessarily bought it, and there's no record of it. And so it's like, would you invite a vampire under your bed? Probably not. But anyways, in June of 2024, crypto exchanges in the country launched information provision systems to simplify the registration of information about crypto holdings. The new law was created in response to controversy involving South Korean lawmaker Kim Kuk, what a name, Kim Kuk, who was accused of liquidating crypto assets and concealing holdings of around 4.5 million. And that's precisely what I would expect people who had millions in crypto to do if the government wanted them to disclose of it. Like, they're not probably going to do that unless they're just 100% transparent, in which I wouldn't anticipate most people to be, but I digress. Kim departed from the Democratic Party at the height of the controversial lawsuit to relieve party members of the burden of the lawsuit. And while prosecutors requested a 6-month prison sentence for Kim, the lawmaker was eventually acquitted after a judge ruled that crypto assets were not subject to public disclosures. Bingo! I love that. Let me repeat what the judge said. Crypto assets are not subject to public disclosure. So if you got crypto in your private wallet, let's keep it private. You lost in a boat accident. Tax that, lizard folk. And with that being shared, again, welcome everyone joining us. Not disclosing because it should not be taxed. There you go. I notice I am feeling so much better than iron every day. Love it, short coin. Let that rub off on the rest of the Biddy fam. They want you to disclose it so they can't see it themselves. No, here's why they want you to disclose it. Because they can take it away from you if you become an enemy of theirs. So if you refuse to be blackmailed and they know you just filled out a paper claiming you have $5 million worth of Bitcoin and you have different opinions than their prime minister or governor or whatever the mainstream agenda is, they can target you and consider you a terrorist and steal your crypto. Fuck the bullshit. Think. Nacho keys, nacho coins. But anyways, we are in the green. Barely, though. We're just above 87.3. Welcome, everyone joining us. We got over 1,000 people on the stream. I'm going to check the X feed again as we continue with the news. Thank you, Chandy. Just reposted JC Ice, our very own Oracle's post. Thank you for the repost of the repost on the repost. Let's keep the stream as we're fast approaching the top of the hour. I have almost a 100% flawless like to repost ratio today. We got 20 hearts over 19 reposts. Let's get that to a blackjack, 21. Who's going to be the next two people to repost the stream? Let's make her happen, Captain. And thank you guys in advance. We just flipped green, and by the time you wrote that comment, we just flipped back in the red. Welcome to crypto, where it's never boring, always exciting. Yeah, I'd say. But yeah, man, exciting times, exciting times. Oh, yeah, I forgot to refill my damn torches, but I made progress. The torches are not in the office where they've been stuck and captive for the past 6 months. They're actually in the living room, so they're getting closer to going downstairs to be refilled. Progress. That's 102. They're in the next room over, and then eventually I'll take them downstairs to the kitchen, and then eventually I'll go into the garage where I have the butane, and I'll fill those motherfuckers up. I promise. Bitcoin do what the bitty do. That's right. Bitty do what the bitty do. And if you don't know, now you know. But, yeah, be water, my friends. All right, next story of the day, GameStop saga. We have a lot to share here, and then we'll get into the Bitcoin countries that are most likely to be next, according to Samson Mow, for nation-level adoption of the Biddy as the game theory continues. But this was the big news. GameStop jumped 12% after Bitcoin purchase plans were announced by their board of directors. And then ironically, the following day, they announced acquiring $1.3 billion convertible debt offering to buy Bitcoin, and we dropped 20%. You know what I mean? And then, so yeah, let's just start here and then we'll get deeper into it. And then I have a 200,000 prediction as a result of this adoption. But yeah, GameStop shares jumped nearly 12% March 26th after the company announced plans to purchase the pretty little bitty going up forever Laura. The company plans to finance the purchase through debt financing after the markets closed March 26th. GameStop announced a $1.3 billion convertible notes offering. Sound familiar? It should. It's called the Sailor Put. The convertible senior notes debt that can later be converted into equity will be used for general corporate purposes, including acquiring the Biddy. According to the company's statement, quoting them here, GameStop expects to use the net proceeds from the offering for general corporate purposes, including the acquisition of the Biddy, in a manner consistent with GameStop's investment policy. The company revealed March 25th plans to use a portion of the corporate cash or future debt to buy digital assets, including Bitcoin and US dollar pegged stablecoins. GameStop's cash reserves stood at $4.77 billion February 1st, compared to $921.7 million 1 year earlier. And according to the Google Finance, GameStop shares closed at $28.36 on the NYSE, marking an 11.65% gain on thy day. The company reported a net income of $131 million for Q4 2024 compared to $63.1 million the prior year Q4. And although net sales have fallen $511 million year over year, the company has been aggressively cutting expenses, including closing 590 stores throughout the United States in 2024. How many of you have like a GameStop in your local area or city or shopping mall? Let me know. GameStop was once at the center of the 2021 meme stock craze when retail traders orchestrated the infamous short squeeze that sent the price of the stock soaring like a roaring kitty. Not me. I'm for the bitty. I'm for the nippinator. I'm for Nipsey. Just referencing our classic 60 G's jam by Chandy. Some hedge funds closed down as a result of the losses sustained during the short squeeze, giving the GameStop meme stock a rise. of a David versus Goliath narrative, and we all know how that ended. GameStop is following the lead of Strategy B, which first added the Biddy to the treasury back in August of 2020, the first publicly traded company to do so. And as of December 2024, Strategy stock gained 3,200% since adopting its Bitcoin strategy. Meanwhile, we also have MetaPlanet, the Japanese version, with planning to buy 21,000 Bitcoin by the end of next year, and their goal is 10,000 before the end of this year. And they saw their stock price rise 4,800% since announcing the move. And in promotional materials, MetaPlanet said it attracted a significant number of new investors, with its market capitalization rising by 6,300%. We also have Similar Scientific saw a spike in its share price after announcing plans to purchase Bitcoin. And the question becomes, which companies will be next to adopt a Bitcoin treasury strategy? There's now 32 publicly traded companies which hold BTC on their balance sheet. Which company will likely be next? You let me know your thoughts, and you can see the breaking news that started this all yesterday. GameStop to raise $1.3 billion to buy Bitcoin, and this announcement was within 24 hours from the announcement of their board of directors open to buying Bitcoin, and it's already occurring. So let's freaking go. And you already know, I'm sure Michael Saylor's the genius with the blueprint they're following, obviously. And with that being shared, also here, GameStop investor tells Fox it should buy $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin with cash. GME is going to $100, he says, quoting him here. This is a $13 billion Bitcoin hedge fund. And if you don't know, now you know. Shout out Chandy10, and she just sent a $21 super. That's a blackjack, baby. Because honey badgers don't care unless they're playing blackjack. Love this group. Please don't leave me. This gong strike is for the one and only Chandy10 Music. Thank you. And quoting Chandy from ADGs, we're a mixture of aces and perfect tens. We're blackjacks, we don't bend. We hodl winning hands to the end. Woo! That was a loud one. Thank you, Chandy. That was very awesome of you. New York CNN, after GameStop closed about a quarter of its locations within the past year, shuttering 1,000 stores across the world, the company said it's not close to done. As far as, obviously, if a store is not profitable, I would do the same thing. You need to cut your losses, right? So I would probably do the same. Whichever stores are producing the least amount of volume and creating the biggest losses on their balance sheet, shut that shit down. Focus on the successful stores, minimize the losses so you can maximize your gains, put more into the Bitcoin instead of just burning it. The company allegedly has like $5 billion worth of cash reserves. Why not just put all that into Bitcoin before it turns into a melting ice cube and it becomes worthless? You know what I mean? Because that's the reality. What up, Nippinator? You got to keep them nippinating. Let's go. I like how when you tag Chandy, it's orange. It's super cool. I've never seen that before, because usually I don't know if you're doing that with a hashtag, but it's pretty cool. I like that Chandy is orange. At least I see her orange. So I'm assuming everyone else sees her orange. Even on the mobile phone, orange, orange, orange. Angels in the orange. Angels in the cold storage. It's all in the orange. Keep stacking. That's right. Keep stacking, never slacking on my mackin'. Shorts on GME have exploded. Since the company announced the Bitcoin strategy, this marks the second highest short volume since January 2021 short squeeze. Look at that chart. Holy moly. Craziness. Wow. Random. I'm just scrolling down my timeline. I'm not searching this stuff out, but there's a Latina baddie made in Puerto Rico for the broskies. Come visit Puerto Rico, broskies. You will not be disappointed. Completely random bitty baddie, Latina baddie. And ironic, the name is baddie. Ironic. What the hell is this going on in the news? Unacceptable, gentlemen. Unacceptable. Man. Thank you, Darth Melda. Appreciate the repost. Just reposted you. She put, come join JV and Nipsey and the CNA fam. Always an honor. Always a pleasure. Chandy again with the repost. I'm going to assume she was number 21. Naturally. join us. Thank you, Crypto Surge. Thank you, Don George. He put the only crypto news channel with a gong. That's right. Just like President Bukele, I keep a gong at my desk naturally. And just reposting everyone before we dive into our next 200,000 price prediction and then the nation state adoption as per Jan 3 founder, Samson Mow. Just trying to blow up the stream for you guys. We get more people on before our feature story. Repost, 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 repost of the repost for the repost of the repost, 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 free toast, avocado toast, coffee, espresso, whatever it takes. Bada boom, bada bing, bada Bitcoin. All right, everyone's literally reposted, literally. So thank you guys. All right. JB, do you have to replay the super chat to get the color of the super chat? You have to reply. Oh, good to know. So when you reply to the super chat, it automatically shows that orange. I just thought that was super cool. Seeing all the orange lit up. Biddy orange, that is. No Diddy. Biddy up, Diddy down. Unless you don't want to drop the soap and be Diddy down, but you get the point. Maybe some advice we'll give to Sam. Oh, allegedly they moved Sam to a different facility. Remember how he just recently gave the interview on Tucker Carlson? And that was like against the rules, but somehow he got internet access to do like a full interview with Tucker. Well, they allegedly just moved him to a different facility. It was one of the articles, but I didn't want to waste our time on using it as one of our 6 stories today. But ironic, remember he's like, Diddy is so nice. He's such a nice guy to me. Crazy, right? So JB, what do you think will be the trigger to get Biddy on the move? It fascinates me that there is it'll just happen when everyone least expects it. Everyone will write off Bitcoin like, oh, all this news doesn't matter anymore. Oh, well, sell our Bitcoin for some Solana. And as soon as you do that, Bitcoin will rip 1,000%. And you'll be like, the 10x pump, I missed it. That's just how it works. Bitcoin's on its own trajectory. It doesn't matter when it happens. We don't have the magic 8 ball. We can't predict it, but it's going to happen. There's no doubt about it. It's just going to rip. I recall March of 2020, literally 5 years ago, as if it was yesterday. And I can remember everything because I stream every day, so I could remember all my streams. And I remember that particular March 5 years ago, Bitcoin was $6,000. $6,000 in March of 2020. That's right after COVID struck. In fact, we even dumped at some point, but it was a very short-lived dump in the 3,000 to 4,000 range. That was JV's last mega purchase of Bitcoin, where I purchased all the Bitcoin I can possibly purchase, like many Bitcoins. And I'm very grateful for that purchase. It worked out quite motherfucking spectacular, because here we are 1 year after that. Bitcoin rose to the 69,000 all-time high. We went from 6,000 to 69,000 in 1 year, but to keep it 100, we went from 6,000 to 60,000 exactly in 12 months, from March of 2020 to March of 2021. Then by November, it was November 9th or November 10th, we hit the 69,000 all-time high. So if Bitcoin in the previous cycle can do a 10x within 12 months, you're just going to write it off that it can never happen again, especially with all the adoption, the nation state adoptions, the countries, the sovereign wealth funds, the pension, all this shit occurring. You got to be crazy. And then let's take it back one cycle prior, 2017, when I first discovered Bitcoin. Bitcoin rose from 1,500 to 20,000 that same fucking year of 2017. So if Bitcoin can 20x 2 cycles ago, which I witnessed, and then last cycle do a 10x within 1 year, are you going to tell me it can't do at least a 5x again this cycle? Again, it did 20x within a year. When I first discovered it the first cycle, it did 10x the second cycle in 1 year, and here we are, the year preceding the halving. Are we going to 10x again? Could we potentially 20x like in 2016, 2017? Or will it be a modest 5x? I don't know. But either way you slice it, it's fucking bullish, and we'll leave it at that. Then it went back to 16.8 in 2022, and that's where I took the orange pill. Well, congratulations, brother. Bitcoin will find a way. The apex will go up regardless. Bitcoin will rip like the new Michael Jordan. How about them apples? That's right. Did you see the, I think it was Clyde Drexler talking about Jordan, how he was just on a totally different level. Very powerful quote. But anyways, let's continue. Let's discuss a $200,000 prediction off the back of the GameStop purchase in the biddy. Again, they just made the announcement of 1.3 billion being purchased. As shared right here, that was the big news from yesterday. So let's dive deeper into this, and then we'll dive into our feature story of the day. Despite strong institutional demand, Bitcoin struggled to reclaim 100,000 level for the past 50 days, leading investors to question the reasons behind the bearishness. Despite a seemingly positive environment, the price weakness is particularly intriguing given the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Executive Order issued by our POTUS March 6, which allows Bitcoin acquisitions as long as they follow the budget-neutral strategies. Example, offload your fucking gold allegedly at Fort Knox and trade it for the apex predator, the hardest asset to ever exist. That's what the Nippinator would do. On March 26, GameStop, the North American video game consumer electronics retailer, announced plans to allocate a portion of its corporate reserves to the biddy. The company, which was on the verge of bankruptcy in 2021, successfully capitalized a historic short squeeze and managed to secure an impressive almost $5 billion in cash equivalent by February of 2025. And question for the broskies, where do you think that $5 billion in cash is about to enter? And don't say the dragon on behalf of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, rest in peace, is entering the preload biddy. Why? The preload biddy's going up forever, Laura. Now, a growing number of U.S.-based international companies followed Michael Saylor's playbook, the Saylor Put, including Japanese firm Metaplanet, which recently appointed Eric Trump, son of President Trump, to its newly established strategic board of advisors. I think that was a very clever move. And similarly, the mining conglomerate Marathon Digital, the largest Bitcoin mining company, adopted a Bitcoin treasury policy to retain all the biddies, an increase of its exposure through the debt offering. And there must be a strong reason for Bitcoin investors to sell their holdings, especially as gold is trading just 1.3% below all-time high. And I heard this morning, if it's accurate, we surpassed 3,100 in gold, because I saw Peter Schiff flexing on plebs. But anyways, while the U.S. administration adopted pro-crypto stance following the Trump election, the infrastructure needed for Bitcoin to serve as collateral and integrate into traditional financial systems remains largely undeveloped. The U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs is limited to the cash settlement, preventing in-kind deposits and withdrawals. But fortunately, a potential rule change currently under review by the U.S. SEC could reduce capital gain distributions and enhance the tax efficiency. Banks like JPM primarily serve as intermediaries or custodians for crypto-related instruments such as derivatives and spot Bitcoin ETFs. The repeal of SAB 121 accounting rule January 23rd, an SEC ruling that imposed strict capital requirements on digital assets, does not necessarily guarantee the broader adoption. And scrolling down a little more, let's just dive all the way down here. Institutional investors remain hesitant to gain exposure to Bitcoin markets due to concerns about market manipulation and a lack of transparency amongst the leading exchanges. The fact that Binance, KuCoin, OK, and Kraken have paid significant fines to the U.S. authorities for potential anti-money laundering violations and unlicensed operations further fuels the negative sentiment towards the sector. But ultimately, the buying interest from the small number of the companies is not enough to push the biddy price to 200,000 per coin, and additional integration with the banking sector remains uncertain despite more favorable regulatory conditions. Until then, my friend, Bitcoin's upside potential will continue to be limited as risk perception remains elevated, especially within the institutional investment community. And if you don't know, now you know. Now, personally, I'm going to say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I personally believe our bear scenario for this year is 222, and we'll blow right past this easy peasy. JV's bull scenario is 1.1 million. Convince me otherwise. And I'll read your comments out loud before we dive into our feature story of the day. Discuss the latest from Jan 3 founder Samson Mow, talking about Philippines and Indonesia over there in Asia, tipped as the next Bitcoin nation states to adopt the Bitcoin. Next, let's freaking go. Shout out James Smith. Good job. JV. Respect. At least a 5X for sure. Has to be a 10X. But I'm with Max Kaiser. 2.2 million. Someone run the math. If we were to blow past... Actually, I can run the math in my head. Let's just say we're 100,000 for the sake of the even numbers, right? 10X from 100,000 is a million. 20X, 2 million. So 22X would be maybe ballpark 2.2 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if we can do a nice 20X, just like we did in the 2017 bull cycle, game on. Max will be right. That's why I don't use the Chrome, says Oracle. What about the Chrome browser? I just read that there's a virus going around. Oh, snap. Be careful. So Google Chrome is stealing people's crypto IDs. Yikes. Yeah, that's a little sketchy. A little sketched out on that one.
Like Biggie, it was all a dream. Now the biddy has set me free. Going, let's biddy up.
Maybe it's best you don't tell people what browser you're using so people don't try to hack you. Maybe some things are better mysterious. I use a browser nobody else uses. I'll never share what it is. Don't need hackers trying to figure out how to hack me. How about that? And let me just put it on the record. I only use Windows. I don't use Apple devices. I don't believe in Apple. I only use Windows devices. Hack that. I don't even use the internet. I refuse. I'm like a boomer. I'm old school. Passenger pigeons. Me and Mike Tyson communicate all the time. He sends passenger pigeons to Puerto Rico. I send it back to Brooklyn, New York. Game on. I just started communicating with Crypto Surge with passenger pigeons. Right? Ungoogle your phone. I also hate Apple. Good. Apple's that of the devil. Stick to Windows. Bill Gates' company is fantastic. I mean, who doesn't trust Bill Gates? That'd be like not trusting Joe Biden. It'd be ridiculous. Why even entertain the idea? You travel on the Onion Network. Not familiar with the Onion Network? Is that like the dark web? Like a tour or something? The Onion Network. What about the Garlic Network? Anyways, man, you guys ready for our feature story? Let me just check the X feed one more time. We got 1,400 people on the stream. Again, it's a tri-stream. We're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. Thank you, Serge, for reposting JC Ice Baby. How we up to, it looks like we're up to 25 hearts and 23 reposts and over 1,200 people on the X feed and collectively 1,400 people total. Let's dive into our feature story, then we'll dive into our live Q&A. You guys ready? Y'all ready for this? Make some noise. All right. I have Windows and I have Windows hacked. Oh boy. I'm more like a shallots network. Shallots, eh? Scallops? It's like a shallop. I don't know. Yeah, Onion is a tour. Thank you, Adam, for the clarification there. But yeah, anyways, you guys ready? Now for our feature story of the day. Philippines and Indonesia tipped as the next Bitcoin nation states by Jan 3 founder Samson Mow. Let's break this down. He was recently interviewed, or actually spoke at this conference. He explains how Bhutan, the kingdom of Bhutan, leads the way, how Jan 3 has shaped Bitcoin strategies worldwide, and why the race is heating up after Trump's executive order. But the million-dollar question remains, which countries will be next? Well, let's break this baby down. Jan 3, digital infrastructure company founded by Samson Mow in 2022, which focuses on accelerating hyper-Bitcoinization by providing tools for the Bitcoin adoption, stirred a fresh debate on sovereign Bitcoin adoption by sharing a bold statement on X. Bitcoin adoption amongst nation states continues accelerating. Samson Mow explains how the kingdom of Bhutan leads the way and how Jan 3 has shaped the Bitcoin strategies worldwide, and why the race is heating up after the recent Trump executive order. So the question remains, which countries are likely to be next? In the video I just referenced, Mao, who has long advocated for Bitcoin's potential to spur economic growth, emphasized Bhutan's success as a prime example for countries with unexploited energy resources. And according to Samson, the Philippines and Indonesia could be next. Bali, let's go! In line to harness the Bitcoin mining as a nation-building tool, particularly by leveraging geothermal energy reserves. And I'm sure you've heard of that term. That's using natural resources such as volcano energy to mine the Bitcoin. And let me know if any of you have been to the Philippines or Indonesia. I'm assuming they have some very cost-effective ways of mining, obviously using free energy. So let's go. Mao underscores Bhutan's journey from a very poor country to the highest Bitcoin per capita country in the world. He remarked, Bitcoin can transform a country very clearly, and it can just lift it out of poverty and monetize stranded or wasted energy. That's a fact, Jack, because the highest and best use of the energy is going to be mining the Bitcoin. Another great example is the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, which was El Salvador back in 2021. And they also claimed they were going to be using geothermal energy, volcano energy, and building a city called Bitcoin City, evolving around it with very advantageous tax laws and things of this nature. And of course, they're acquiring Bitcoin, already have over 6,000 Bitcoin on the balance sheet, and they've been averaging over 1 Bitcoin purchase per day over there in Bitcoin country. And Bhutan, I believe, has even more Bitcoin than El Salvador. But by using the Bitcoin proceeds, Bhutan has reportedly begun financing significant infrastructure, including constructing an airport, a striking development for a country that once lacked the funds for such projects. Samson positions this as a powerful demonstration of how mining can be underused or stranded energy into a national revenue stream. Now, remember, Trump made the big announcement at the Nashville conference that he was going to make America the Bitcoin mining hub of the world. Well, this is a part of the global hash war, the global race to adopt the Bitcoin. And this is what we're witnessing, and I'm pretty confident all the countries around the world are having these conversations right now of adapting a strategic Bitcoin reserve or adapting it for their treasury or getting exposure to Bitcoin some way, somehow, before they get left behind. Now, Philippines and Indonesia are the next adopters, according to Samson, citing the example of Bhutan as a catalyst. Samson suggests that other resource-rich countries may replicate this model, specifically pointing out to the Philippines and Indonesia, both known for their untapped geothermal capacity, as prime candidates for state-level BIDI adoption. Quoting him here, I believe there's a big opportunity for the Philippines and Indonesia to monetize their stranded energy. That geothermal potential, Mao's reasoning is straightforward. If Bhutan can direct mining revenue towards infrastructure projects, then other nations with large geothermal reserves may do the same. And rather than letting surplus or hard-to-access energy go to waste, countries can simply redirect those resources into mining operations, funneling any profits into roads, hospitals, airports, or other development goals, which are infrastructure related, it seems. Now, one factor Mao highlights is the influence of the executive order signed by POTUS Trump for the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, which he believes has prompted various governments to reassess their approach to the Bitcoin. Agreed. This order per Mao has kind of lit the fire under their ass, under international policies who worry about the U.S. potentially moving first. First mover's advantage, baby. There can only be one Bitcoin superpower. Will it be China? Will it be Russia? Will it be the United States of America? Let me know. Mao explains that at Jan 3, discussions with governments have intensified in the last couple of years. There are setbacks due to the events like the FTX collapse. You can thank Scam Bankman-Fried, which tarnished the Bitcoin reputation despite being a broader crypto failure, with the U.S. pushing forward through executive action. Mao said certain government entities that once planned to move to Bitcoin adoption in the later years, an example 2027, are now shifting timelines up in an attempt to front run or at least keep up pace with the U.S. We call this game theory. However, while some governments appear keen to following Bhutan's model, Mao warns that the policy making is inherently cumbersome. Legislative changes often require multiple rounds of internal approvals, public consultations, and political buy-ins. The time frame, the time available to implement something is not much because governments move slow as blackberry molasses. Couldn't agree more. He points out that the new regulatory policy framework can take months or even years to materialize, by which time technological or market dynamics may change. And as a result, countries hoping to capitalize on the Bitcoin mining opportunity face a shrinking window if they aim to outpace major economic powers like the United States of America. It is not until someone actually goes and does it that it kind of clicks in their heads. Mao emphasizes reinforcing the notion of Bhutan's success might spur real momentum for similar initiatives in Southeast Asia. Whether the Philippines and Indonesia indeed join the ranks of the Bitcoin-enabled nation-states remains yet to be seen. What are your thoughts, family? However, important to note, Mao has been actively involved in discussing regarding Bitcoin adoption in Indonesia alongside Governor Ridwan Kamil of West Java. Mao has participated in events like Bitcoin 2023, where they discussed the strategic implications of integrating Bitcoin into Indonesia's economic landscape. That's why I got a lot of respect for Samson Mow. He's leading the way with Jan 3 in nation-state Bitcoin adoption, so obviously he knows what he's talking about. He's not just pulling these countries out of his ass. So let's freaking go Philippines. Let's go Indonesia. Let's adopt the biddy. And with that being shared, welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. Pre-low biddy going up, still in the green, up $243 on the day. Trading above 87,300. This is your opportunity. Ask your boy or the chairman of the SEC any questions. I'll do my best to answer them and read all your comments out loud. Let's get it.
Hey, bang, bang on the door, baby, never let it fade. Auto house strong, yeah, we built it this way. No one to hold them, yeah, we're holding, never folding. I've always been a rapper, honky cracker, but now I'm a pastor, Bitcoin stacker. Now I'm a master of the Bitcoin standard. Hit 'em up faster than the Bitcoin panda. You can't touch me with your shitcoin flow. Like, do you even Bitcoin, bruh? Let me know. Welcome to the Bitcoin show. Now listen up closely, low-key, stacking BTC like Satoshis. In El Salvador with my Bitcoin broskies, raising up the biddy like Gohan. Living in a huddle house, we're not the pawns.
Let's go. Breaking news just in 5 minutes ago. Brazil's vice president advisor calls on nation to create strategic Bitcoin reserve. It's happening. Brazil is a massive country, by the way. Can someone look up the population? I believe it's the largest population in all of South America. Correct me if I'm wrong, broskies. Quoting them here. Bitcoin is digital gold. The internet's gold. It will be crucial to our prosperity. Let's fucking go. Breaking news, Brazil calling for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Massive. Holy shit. Just when you think you can't get no more bullish. Bring it. I just reposted that. Shout out to the Bitcoin historian. Great account to follow, by the way. Very consistent. But that's massive news. There's a bonus for you. Brazil. Someone look up the number for me. What's the population in Brazil? I'm going to speculate like 300 million people. 200 million-ish, right on. Look it up. They only take 2 seconds. I'm too lazy. I'm entertaining you guys, so I have an excuse. Let's video, hey, bang, bang on the door, baby, never let it fade. And we'll also play some music videos today. Yesterday, we premiered Bitcoin Presidents. We'll bring it back and play it again. We now have 1,500 people on the stream. We're still streaming. We're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. Yes, 200 million population. Thank you, Shortcoin. So is that verified? 200 million plus? Bada boom, bada Bitcoin. Let's go, Brazil. Will it be Brazil? Will it be Indonesia? Who's going to be next? Will it be the Philippines? Manny Pacquiao. Are you in Bitcoin yet? 211.1 million. Thank you, Shortcoin. Bring it.
Auto house strong, yeah, we built it this way. No one to hold them, yeah, we're holding, never folding. Bitcoin's dripping like a new Scottie Pippen 80 G's. We're royalty, biddy kings and queens, manifesting the kingdom that's finally come, playing chess moves. Checkmate, we won. We're raising the roof in El Salvador. Freedom flows, IMF can't hold us no more. Stacking BTC like Tate versus the BBC. Stacking the biddy like BTC OGs.
Let's go. Yeah, that's massive. What a great way to put a bow on the news. Brazil calling for a strategic Bitcoin motherfucking reserve. It's time. Mr. Corvette, what it do, broski? Didn't Max warn us? You guys ready for some Bitcoin presidents? Let's check on the actual video post from Shandy, see how it's doing. The people have spoken. Wow. Crushing it. 250 hearts, 124 reposts. Congratulations, Shandy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this has to be your best performing music video of all time on X. We don't give a fuck about YouTube no more. Their algorithm sucks donkey balls. But when it comes to X, that's a better reflection of how people like your new track, and that means people love it. That's practically, I mean literally, that's a 50% like to repost ratio, which is almost unheard of. I've never seen that on any music videos ever before in my life. So keep doing what you're doing. We're going to premiere it again. If you guys haven't already reposted her video, please do so. And if you already have reposted it so you can't repost it again, hit the repost button, then drop a quote. And then it allows you to quote it, and then we can repost it. And also, if you click on the repost button, you can click on view post interactions, and you can see everyone supporting it. And then you can support the people supporting it. That's how we support one another. and you guys can repost all the comments of the people with the quotes and you know what I mean? So it's like a endless cycle where we can continue to boost it up and show it love. So we explode this video, and I want to make sure Bukele sees it. I dare say Bukele probably has already got, like, you know, probably got his attention already. But if it hasn't, continue to repost it. So for example, this person is flexing. All I got to do is hit the heart, support it, and then hit the repost button. Bada boom, bada Bitcoin. And I can literally do that for every single individual supporting it. And we can all do that. And then we can repost each other's quotes. That's how we blow up, hack the algorithm, and take over the world. One biddy at a time. If you don't know, now you know. But yeah, we're about to dive into the video. We'll premiere it. Yes, see? Real Red Lance didn't even know Chandy had an X account. Not only does she have an X account, clearly she has a YouTube account, but the YouTube algorithm has been very evil against her, unfortunately. So I don't expect the algorithm on YouTube to give either of us much love. They don't like us. They're not like us, and we're not like them. You know what I mean? However, on X, their algorithm actually likes our content, and they actually show it to other people, especially the people who follow us, and it's an incredible thing. Ahoy, JV and the Pirate Crew. You're so late, Greg. Delayed today, working on the kitchen remodel for the son. Had the water pipe burst in the kitchen. Damn. Well, glad you're here, brother. You can always rewind it back for what you missed. And FYI, tomorrow we're going back to the early schedule. Because tomorrow I got to pick up my daughter from school. And so bi-weekly we switched the schedule. This week it was always 4 p.m. Starting tomorrow, we'll go back to 1 p.m. So make note of it. Tomorrow, early stream, 1 p.m. live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. And with that being shared, let's go ahead and play Bitcoin President's music video premiere. Again, we shared it yesterday. We're going to share it again because it's such a good song. Enjoy the video.
Now there's a few less misplaced terrorists on our land. Trump and Bukele make their stand. A survivor alliance, a best in the world leader, kind of highest. Baby alliance, borders locked, planes in the sky. Prison they earned, a lesson they learned, least they escaped the urn. A judge wrote orders, tried to demand, but the plane was gone, already off land. Too late to turn, oceans away, Bukele said.
Oops, too late.
They touched down, head shaved clean, marched in rows, no more schemes. Steel doors closed, the chains held tight. Justice served before first light. Some men bear burdens most never could. Decisions made not for want but for should. Bukele walked where others ran. Justice wasn't vengeance, it was the plan. MS-13 held the streets in blood. Extortion, fear, corruption's flood. Now inside, CCOT fate is sealed. No more terror, streets can heal. Trump called them animals, spoke the truth. Now the system answers proof. Borders locked, criminals bound. Bitcoin rises, nation found. The world said it can't be done, but Trump and Bukele made them run. Fiat fades, Bitcoin reigns. Hash wars start, the game has changed. Doing, doing, doing. Tell them that justice is round the bend. Tell them that truth's gonna come again. Tell them that Bitcoin's rising now. Trump's gonna cut you down. Bukele's gonna cut you down. No. US debt, fake money high. Printed out, watch nations die. Stock market ain't the star in the sea. The star is BTC, set it free. Man on a mission, 2-year clock. Hash wars coming, nations locked. Fiat's weak, the end is near. Bitcoin stands, nothing to fear. In CCOT's numbers fall, his people's trust heeding the call. Trump's mandate clear, borders defend, protecting citizens steadfast to the end. Both leaders stand unwavering hands, guiding their nations, fulfilling demands. The orange pill stands where leaders rise, justice reigns, truth survives. Trump saw the weapon, Bukele took aim. Sovereign money, no more games. Trump saw the weapon, Bukele took aim. Sovereign money, no more games. Ledger don't lie, can't be erased. Proof of work, the code is placed. Fiat falls, the debt runs wild. Bitcoin stands pure fortified. Doing, doing, doing. Tell them that justice is round the bend. Tell them that truth's gonna come again. Tell them that Bitcoin's rising now. Trump's gonna cut you down. Bukele's gonna cut you down. Different lands, they walk their path. Both men refuse to bow their heads. Some say fate is just a game, but how do you explain two men the same? One saves a nation, the other the land, and Bitcoin moves in both their hands. Was it coincidence? Was it by chance?
Biddy up, Roger out. Brand new track, Bitcoin Presidents by Chandy 10. Let's hit them with 80 G's next. This one's for you, Mr. Corvette. Enjoy, broski.
We are the players. 80 G's give us sexy little shivers. We are the makers and takers, but we orange pill, which makes us the givers. Paying it forward, 80 G's not too late. Don't ignore us, 80 G's, take the life-saving bait. 80 G's filling our cup, we're dragons that slay. BTC up, and here we are at 80K. We slid our way to 80K. Ding ding, I love the rise and the dying and the bitty pretty Bitcoin. November 2024, the highest Bitcoin price action ever rolled since the inception of the Genesis block. Pushing the way to 80K, no roadblocks. Hodlers are not surprised, not shocked, but bang 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 like a B-52. We built a bitty stacked revolutionary love shack. Bang bang on the door, baby, Bitcoin's here, we're bitty stacked. Welcome to the 80s and the 80 G's, 80 business. Don't be a punk while we BTC rock in the 80s. 80 G's, that is. We're a mix of aces and perfect tens. We're blackjacks, we don't bend. We hodl winning hands to the end, like Wyatt Earp, Eastwood, and Doc Holliday. We're outlaws holding our biddies close to our chest. By BTC, just try it, make our day. We're Bitcoin jocks from the wild, wild west. Know when to hold 'em, yeah, we're holding, never folding. Bitcoins are ripping like a new Scottie Pippen. 80 G's, we're royalty, biddy kings and queens. Our kingdom has come, we've been manifesting. We're raising up the biddy like Gohan. We live in a hodl house, we play chess and we're not the pawn. We're raising the roof now. Big bad wolf who? Oh no, he's gone, cause he was a pawn. Sorry, I'm being late. We're built tougher than bricks, ready and coming at 'em. We're strategic and steady, no rush, 5th level ready. 80 G's on our way to 1 mil. The name of the game is hodl, take an orange pill. Like a squirrel we hodl, we store. Peanut, you got a twisted deal, we're gonna hodl more in memory of you. Nipsey will too. 80 G's is exciting now, but a future memory. It's a USA saving, T-pump moment in Bitcoin history. Bitcoin is going up forever, that's no mystery. This roller coaster ride is not for the weak, but it is exhilarating, built for prosperity, not misery. Bitcoin price discovery is in play. Higher numbers are on the way. Just do your best, it is not too late. You will be blessed, have a little faith. Leave the rest to Satoshi and God. Think of Moses and the rod. Think of Satoshi and Free and Ross. Bitcoin doesn't have to be a future loss. Bitcoin doesn't have to be a future loss.
You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. Hodl, hodl, hodl. Study up, pray and think. Don't miss your lifeboat. Take an orange pill, this isn't Play-Doh. Use your God-given free will. Biddy up, make a dough. Price discovery is more than a name. It's a rare phenomenon. Bitcoin is a patient man's game. Fiat, dream on your yesterday's way. Bring me a biddy glow. But bang, bang, bang. Like a B-52, we built a biddy stats. Revolutionary love shot. Bang, bang, on the door, baby. Bitcoin's here, we're biddy stacked. Welcome to the 80s and the 80 G's. Baby business, don't be a pop while we BTC rock in the 80s. 80 G's, that is.
Bada boom, bada Bitcoin. Let's continue with the music videos. This is a classic right here. Enjoy.
Bada boom, bada bang. Bada boom, bada Bitcoin. Bada boom, breaking banks. Bada boom, we go.
Laser eyes locked, the biddy is Fiat's eclipse. Bada boom, bada bang. We're lunar high on a rocket ship. No keys, no crown. Bada boom, bada Bitcoin. Wow. It's a beautiful day in the Bitcoin hood. Paper hands panic, hodl gangsters fist. The biddy keeps rising as a superstar should. Loyal to the biddy, we already knew it would. They print and pretend, but we code and defend. Cold storage lock, never trust, never bend. Fiat's the Titanic, watch the central banks capsize. Ledger don't lie, every block crystallized.
Uncorruptible, unchangeable, unbreakable.
Block by block, this train can't be tamed. It's decentralized power, lit with a dragon's flame. Prophecy of Satoshi, BTC can't be contained. No more playing Monopoly, decentralized, we reign, we reign. Bada boom, bada bang, bada boom, bada Bitcoin. Bada boom, breaking banks, bada boom, we go.
Going, going, going.
Laser eyes locked, the biddy is Fiat's eclipse. Bada boom, bada bang, no keys, no crown. We're lunar high on a rocket ship. Bada boom, bada Bitcoin, wow. Huddle tight, hold 'em tight, never gonna sell. 21 forever, it's a blackjack fairy tale. No inflation, no debasing. Lizard folk gonna yell, raising hell. Cause bada boom, I bought a Bitcoin. Huddle tight, hold 'em tight, never gonna sell. 21 forever, it's a blackjack fairy tale. No inflation, no debates, and Lizzie folk gonna yell, raising hell. Cause bada boom, I bought a Bitcoin.
Fairy tales.
All right, fam. We hit you with 3 back-to-back videos. Let me know your thoughts. The playlist included, of course, Bitcoin Presidents, the most recent music video by Shandy 10, and then we played the ADG's music video, and then we played Bada Boom, Bada Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you guys are following her on X and on YouTube. Respect. Chris says, I need to see the Bob Dylan movie. Wow, so there's a movie. Now, I actually got to see Bob Dylan in concert maybe 8 years ago. It was awful. He sounded like Kermit the Frog. I don't know what happened to his voice. Because my mom would always tell me how big of a fan she's been of Bob Dylan since, like, she was young. And I know he was, like, you know, he was very big in our culture, at least. But I had the opportunity to go to a concert, and it was actually him. I think it was in Tennessee or something. It was a country place. And I just recall not being able to understand anything he said when he was performing. It sounded like Kermit the Frog. That was like my feedback. I'm like, Mom, he sounds like Kermit the Frog. To like, yeah, his voice changed over the years. But yeah, that'd be cool. New movie. Going up, James Smith Forever. April Fool's jokes on standby. Jim Cramer backs Trump's tariffs, and that's not an April Fool's joke. Oh boy. My dad was a huge Dylan fan. Right on. So where's this documentary? Is that like a Netflix special, or is that just on YouTube? He was from my dad's time. Right on. Definitely not my generation, but our parents, absolutely. My parents were both at Woodstock, but unlike JC, I didn't get to attend Woodstock. So there's levels. Right on. Shout out Josh. Appreciate support, brother. We are back on the rise, at least. We're above 87.5. Good sign. We have 1,553 viewers between X Rumble and YouTube. This is the Q&A segment. Movie theater. Do people still go to the movies? No, we have movie theaters here. Like, my daughter's not even interested in movies. Like, when she was like 5, like, I take her to see Frozen or something, but she has like no desire like to watch these movies anymore. I saw the rating of the new Snow White movie is the worst Disney rating of all time. It was like 1 out of 10 stars. How is that even possible? That bad, huh? Crazy. I was just born during Woodstock. When a society is able to quantify the computational totality of the total generative power, we'll start to move towards an energy-based economy, and we do our risk. Now, what are your guys' thoughts on free energy? I'm a firm believer that Nikola Tesla, like 100 years ago, however long when he roamed this earth, he invented free energy, and there's been many incredible people who have brung forth technology, free energy. There's different sources, there's 0 point energy, there's this type of energy. But long story short, one of the theories is there's an abundance of energy that exists in the ether that one can tap into with the right devices, maybe magnets, this, that, I don't know. And then they suppress the technology because the oil company, right, Standard Oil, Rockefellers, the Rockefeller clan, it's not in their best interest if there was free energy, because we wouldn't need to be dependent upon the government as a source of energy, right? So what if energy is free and we can all create devices to mine Bitcoin for free and it doesn't even cost a dime? Imagine that. Just as a theoretical, like, what if that happens? Like, the free energy plans leak to the masses, the lizard folk cannot suppress the free energy technology anymore, and then we can all just start mining Bitcoin. What do you think would happen in that scenario to the Bitcoin? Let me know. Yes, there's been free energy. Guess who does not make it free? Government. That's like their worst nightmare. So, yeah, my understanding is they killed Nikola Tesla, and then the government confiscated all of his information, books and notes and technology, kind of like Secret Service, like in the movie MIB. The MIB, the Men in Black, just appear, and they steal everything, and then they... nothing to see here. That's a logical theory. That's what I've heard and read, at least. Obviously, I wasn't around back then, but I mean, come on now. Did you see what they found under the pyramids? Looks like a power station. Yeah, I think all the mysteries on Earth, they'll never reveal the truth regardless. Everything we've ever been taught is misleading. If we're exposed to some truth, they're going to corrupt the truth some way, somehow, right? They wanted us to believe that we were all retarded back then, hundreds or thousands of years ago. Humans were retards, and we were cavemen, and we knew nothing. And not until now, thanks to the government, are we not retarded no more, thanks to their government school system. But I beg to differ. Like, I am a firm believer that we were advanced back then. And then these corrupt governments, which are probably controlled by higher intelligence, or not that they're higher intelligent beings, but corrupt beings that want to control and enslave the masses. And I think these bloodlines, hence why they keep their bloodlines pure, it's so these evil entities can control the masses, right? And they do that by suppression of knowledge. The less you know, the easier you are to control. And the more dumbed down they can keep you, the more brainwashed you are, the easier you are to control, right? Tards are tards. I actually like that term. I may use that in the future. Artards, pretty much. Guess what? We are still tarded. Yeah, but I think we're more artarded today than we were hundreds or thousands of years ago. Clearly, we were an advanced civilization, or there wouldn't have been pyramids evolved all around the world. And some think pyramids only Egypt. No, pyramids are on every continent of the world, including Asia. There's motherfucking pyramids in China. There's motherfucking pyramids in Japan under the water. There's pyramids all across the world. So there's obviously some advanced intelligence that was able to travel from continent to motherfucking continent, but then they're like, oh, the plane wasn't invented until the Wright brothers. Tell it to the judge. Everything they teach you is dumbed down. So I'm a firm believer of that, at least. And then they used to make harp or harpa. Artards. Yeah, man. So, I mean, humans' potential is massive, and that's always going to be the silver lining. We have massive potential because when we come together, we can change things. And we do. And there's evidence of that, throughout history. But as long as they could keep us dumbed down, it's going to be easier or harder for us to come together to actually make change because everyone's going to be fighting each other. I mean, there's a quote, divide and conquer, precisely what the government's notorious for. Let's divide them. Democrat, Republican. We'll get them fighting amongst each other so they don't see us back here pulling all the strings. I promised I was rocking boxers. I wasn't fronting. Proof of work, baby. Blue. Dragon blue. Yeah. But anyways, fam, let me know your thoughts on that. I'm just ranting right now. Super job on the video, and they look like gang members. Yeah, they are gang members. Easy telltale is the Satan horns on the bald head. That's a dead giveaway. More people can do things 100 or even 50 years ago. Now everything is geared towards doing absolutely everything for everybody. Service economy, stupidest idea the humans ever had. Mr. Corvette, no doubt, we were being manipulated, broski. You guys know it. They manipulate us through our money. They manipulate us through our food. They manipulate us through our water. They manipulate us through our educational system. What don't they manipulate? For Christ's sake, they're manipulating the heavens above us by polluting our motherfucking air with chemtrails, barium, and aluminum, and toxic motherfucking poison that we digest or inhale. They're poisoning, ruining everything. But as long as we're quiet about it and we acquiesce, okay, continue to poison me. I'll be a good little artard and not speak up. Pretty much, right? We are the puppets. Yeah. And until we recognize the puppet masters for who they are, they're going to continue to get away with it. You know what I mean? Everything is ran through blackmail. Gilligan's Island is the perfect example. And I use the word Gilligan because we're streaming on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure the forces that control YouTube are the same forces behind Gilligan's Island. So we're going to refer to it as Gilligan's Island, right? And they released the redacted list. Redacted, of course, because the world is ran by blackmail. That's how they get these influencers, celebrities, to go along with their bullshit agendas. And if they don't, well, we'll turn in the tape of you doing anal with Diddy to minors. And then they're like, oh, snap. What kind of blackmail, like realistically speaking, what kind of blackmail do you think they have on Robert De Niro? For him to come out and have to like go against Trump and for these celebrities to say these retarded things, you just question, oh, how many times was he at Gilligan's Island? What kind of blackmail do they have on that motherfucker, right? These are the questions that go through my mind. But anyways, people are starting to wake up because the internet, correct. They could control the internet to a certain degree, obviously, and they do. Have a good day, guys. Got to run. Shout out E-Generate. Thank you for tuning in, brother. There only are tards on Gilligan Island. The Skipper, the Professor 2, Marianne, and his wife, the movie star. Yeah. Cat Williams knew all that shit. Yeah, because if you're not an artard, it's very easy to figure it out. Of course he knows. You know why? Because he never went to fucking Diddy's parties and never went to Gilligan's Island. So they have no blackmail on him. And because of that, he's willing to speak the truth. But if there's blackmail on you, I dare you to speak the truth. They'll go in prison. You make up some bullshit charges against you like they did to Tates, put you in prison, destroy your life. Am I right or am I right? Not the victims, though. I pray for them. Well, there's definitely always victims. Unfortunately, we're victims. I mean, there's levels to this shit, but we're all victims to a certain degree, right? 87.6. Can I get an 87.7? Can I get an 87.8? 88, 88. Going once, going twice. So to the short coin. I heard a judge from New York was on an E list. Are you talking about the Gilligan Island list? Not surprised. Judges, leaders of countries, governors, presidents, presidents' friends and associates, they're all on the list. Blackmail is very real. And I think truth, there's a quote from Buddha, one of my favorite Buddha quotes. 3 things cannot be long hidden. Why do I do 3 like this? Because in China, that's how they do it. They don't do this. I lived in China, and they do this for 3, just FYI. That's a motherfucking 3. So 3 things cannot be long hidden. The sun, the moon, and the motherfucking truth. So the truth shall set us free. Are you ready to be set free? Or do you choose to be an enslaved artard? Choice is yours. One thing the world respects is our free will, including Satan. That's why they got to tell you what they're doing to you. The truth is always hidden in plain sight, right? That's how they get away with it. People are waking up thanks to the World Wide Web, or the wide world web, eh? People can only affect you if you give them consent. Precisely, Coach Leon Powder. Precisely, there's something called free will. Even the forces of evil respect the free will, and they play along. And as long as they follow the rules in their Freemasonry, secret society, Illuminati cults, they get away with it, right? Deep shit, real shit. And you guys already know, because I consider everyone here smart and intelligent and not retarded. Hence why you're here, right? If you're a Bitcoiner watching my stream, I consider you highly intelligent. If you're not into Bitcoin and you're watching fucking reruns of Jerry Springer, I would consider you retarded, right? But speaking the truth, shout out Benny Branco from the Bronx. I'm a political refugee from Cuba, man. But anyways, we're approaching the top of the hour. I'll stick around for another 10 minutes. Feel free to ask me anything you like. I'm going to check the comments on X again. Bukele is going to cut you down. Society is going to neuter you. So I don't let Nippinator participate in our society. They try to neuter my pup. I said no. But they're like, JV, you don't want him to live a long, prosperous life. If you don't neuter him, he's doomed. I trust God more than the doctors. Sorry. I trust God more than the vet trying to stick 10 vaccines per year in my dog. I think God figured out life better than the pseudoscientists. But that's just me. I'm old school, baby. Keep your vaccines and inoculations. Stick them up your own ass, motherfuckers. And stop trying to poison our dogs. Man's best friend. You take away man's best friend, what do we have left? Nothing. Tom Lee says, market rips April 2nd. Well, let her rip, Tater Chip. I'm all for it. Jerry Springer was funny. It's how we go to know the real America. I'll be rocking with y'all for a long, long time till the wheels fall off. Cheers. Just like that money printer. Brr. JB, did you cover the GameStop 1.38? Of course, brother. Our two top stories, we did Philippines and Indonesia. Most likely the next countries to adopt Bitcoin, according to Samson Mow. And we also covered everything regarding the GameStop, the 1.3 convertible note offering, of course. Yeah, and everything surrounding that. You can always go back after the stream ends and watch the replay. But yeah, we actually had two GameStop stories today. So story number 4 and 5 were GameStop, and our feature story was the nation adoption with Samson Mow. Hard RR tarded, eh? Curious, did anyone watch the new Snow White woke Disney film? JB, there's a comedian on the cruise. He was funny. He was saying as men get older, your balls tend to go lowered. And he was like, his balls were swimming in his toilet. That's fucking hilarious. That is hilarious. I'm glad you got some good entertainment on the ship. I remember some of my cruises as well. They had some really good comedians holding it down. I appreciate humor as well. Jerry Springer, the real America. Now, I heard Jerry Springer passed. Is that accurate? I don't know what year, but I saw that he was one of them. Doesn't shock me, but probably was old. I don't know. I didn't really ever watch Jerry Springer. Maybe I was 7 years old or something and it was on the TV, but I was too young to really understand what was going on. You just usually see like stupid people fighting with each other and him encouraging the fight for the ratings. What are you going to do about that? You're going to let him get away with saying that? Oh no, you motherfucking... Nowadays, don't you just get arrested for touching somebody? Assault. I don't know. They do. Was he one of them? Oh, I'm sure he was. They're all a part of it. They don't give you a top-rated TV show if they don't have blackmail on you, FYI. It's a given. Yeah, he died almost 2 years ago. Thanks for the heads up, Greg. Did they say what the causes were? Maybe it was a poison vaccine. Isn't it crazy that so many of the celebrities died from the poison jab and didn't know any better, including George Foreman more recently? May he rest in peace. Evil motherfuckers at the top of that Illuminati pyramid, broskies. Some evil mofos. It came on before Arthur. What's Arthur? I remember like Montel Williams. I remember Oprah Winfrey. What happened to fucking Oprah? I have USDT on OKX. Oh my God, you mofo scammers. Someone blocked that mofo. That's a scam. Don't fall for it, fam. Surge, fuck 'em up. I went to my younger brother's new house in Fort Lauderdale. You believe there are peacocks roaming his neighborhood? Scratching up cars? No fucking way. They're fucking with the cars. Peacocks don't play. I saw some beautiful peacocks in El Salvador at the resort we were at. They had like a peacock farm, like 30 beautiful fucking peacocks. They're beautiful creatures, by the way. Oprah, yeah, she lives in Gilligan's Island, I would assume. She got stuck there 30 years ago. Yo, did you guys also hear the conspiracy, which is a theory? I think it's more than a conspiracy. But that, for example, like the Playboy Mansion had an underground facility that connected to like other, I don't know if it was Diddy's motherfucking house or some other sick, evil shit. But there's underground, I mean, the government entitles them DUMBs. I forget what they stand for, but DUMBS. I've read some like secret documents over the years. Can't tell you where I got them from. Nippinator. But, you know, there's massive underground facilities. And could you only imagine what's really going on underground? Like real talk. Not just in America. Like it's a global underground network. Global. Jerry passed in 2023. Good to know. No, for the real. I have the pics. Yeah, that's sad. Imagine like a bird fucking up your whip. No way. Motherfuckers. I can see people with like their guns. Make your move, peacock. Make your motherfucking move. On some dirty, hairy shit. Whoa, we're about to hit 88. Game on, motherfuckers. I am JV. We're all JV. Clarence, the cross-eyed scammer, has been sent to the corner with the dunce hat. Precisely.
Fuck 'em up.
I'm gonna do my stuff. They not like us. We not like them. Mustard on the beat, ho. Mustard.
They not like us. They not like us.
Preach. In fact, the majority of you watching this right now are not like us. And I can say that because I understand most of you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hence, you're not like us. If you want to be like us, head on over to cryptonewsalerts.net, subscribe to No One Day the Bitcoin Pod, and let's motherfucking get it.
They not like us.
JV, you was hanging around back then. I've been around the block, broski. 42 years on this earth. I'm no spring chicken anymore. Yeah, maybe 88G's here incoming. Let's go. Tomorrow's TGIF. Reminder again, tomorrow we flip back early. So Friday is going to be a 1 p.m. stream. Saturday, Sunday, 4 p.m. And then Monday through Thursday of next week, all 1 p.m. So make note of it, please. Hey, JV, I got to go. VTuber stream in a minute. Enjoy your VTuber stream, brother. Stay up. Cheers and appreciate you. Knock it out the park, as they say in the hood. And anyways, we're at the top of the hour. So with all that being shared, I appreciate each and every one of you. Just make a note tomorrow. The stream is going to be at 1 p.m. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. Make it a great day. And I'll see you guys soon. Deuces.